Okay, so today we're diving into a story about a pretty simple project, but one that, believe it or not, holds a powerful secret to getting unstuck. We're going to look at a guide to creative problem solving, and we'll see it all through the eyes of a student named Lee. Have you ever had that feeling? You're just completely stuck on a project. You're staring at it, the deadline is getting closer and closer, and your mind is just blank. It's this awful, paralyzing pressure, right? Well, that is exactly where our story begins. All right, so let me introduce you to Lee. He's in the middle of this group project and it's due, well, really, really soon. The problem is, his teammates have been pulling their weight, working hard, but Lee, he hasn't even started his part yet. So yeah, the pressure is definitely on. And we're not talking about a little pressure here. It's immense. See, his teammates, Jack and Claire, they aren't just done with their parts. They've knocked it out of the park. Jack's report? Crystal clear, super detailed. Claire's star map? It's beautiful. And now, it's all on Lee. And really, that's what this is all about for him. It's not just about getting the assignment done. He's working with these really smart, dedicated people, and the absolute last thing he wants is to be the one who tanks their grade. That fear of letting them down, it's just weighing on him, big time. So what does he do? He does what most of us would do. He heads to the library. He's surrounded by books, all these resources. It seems like the right move. But as we're about to find out, just having more information isn't always the answer, especially when your job is to actually make something. Remember, his job is to build a model of a planet. That's a 3D object, right? But what's he finding in the books? Just these flat, super confusing charts. He's trying to take all this abstract data and turn it into a real physical thing, and it's just not connecting. The information isn't clicking for him at all. And this is where he hits rock bottom. He just puts his head down on the table, totally defeated. All that frustration has just boiled over into pure despair. In his mind, it's a done deal. He's going to fail, and he's going to take the whole group down with him. But right there, in that moment of total frustration, he says something out loud that changes everything. It sounds like just a complaint, but it's not. It's actually a perfect diagnosis of his problem. He finally figures out the mismatch. His brain needs to see something, but all he's been giving it is words and charts. And boom, just like that, the whole game changes. This little moment of clarity, born straight out of his frustration, becomes the big turning point. He's about to completely shift his entire approach to this problem. I mean, think about it. How can you solve a problem that you can't even see? That's the real question Lee was up against. And the answer for him wasn't hiding in another book or some other chart. The answer was to change how he was looking at the problem in the first place. And then suddenly, it hits him. That little wish, that desperate thought about just seeing a planet. It sparks an idea. It's so simple, it's modern, and honestly, it's going to completely change the game for this project. So here's the new plan. Instead of trying to make sense of some artist's drawing or a confusing chart, he thinks, why not go straight to the source? He decides to use the web to find real photographs of Earth and other planets, pictures actually taken from space. He wants to see the real thing, not someone else's interpretation of it. And this is the big shift right here. He goes from staring at abstract charts that were just confusing and frustrating him to looking at real photos that were instantly inspiring and sparking all these new ideas. It turns out he didn't need more data. He just needed a totally different kind of input. Okay, so now he's got a new plan, and this fresh wave of inspiration, Lee is finally ready to stop just thinking about it and actually start doing something. It's time to turn this idea into a real physical thing. And you know what? His visual research pays off right away. The photos of Earth gave him a sense of how a planet looks from far away, with the clouds, and you can see the shapes of the continents and the oceans. But it was the photos of Mars that really gave him that direct inspiration. He finally had a concrete vision for his model. He knew exactly what he was going to build. So his process from here on out was actually pretty simple and super effective. First, he did his research, browsing all those images of Earth and Mars online. Then, those photos gave him a ton of ideas for what his model could look like. He grabbed a small ball for the basic shape, and then he just started painting, using those Mars photos as his guide. It was a really clear, actionable plan, and it all came from just seeing the problem in a new way. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Lee's story, it's not really just about finishing a school project, is it? It's a perfect example of making sure your problem-solving method actually matches the problem. He had a hands-on creative task, so what he really needed was visual, tangible input, not just a bunch of text. His big breakthrough wasn't about finding new information, it was about finding a whole new way to process it. I mean, just think about that transformation for a second. He went from being terrified of getting a bad grade and letting everyone down to feeling confident that they were going to have the best project in the entire class. That's the kind of power you get when you finally find the right key to unlock a problem. Really, it all boils down to this one simple but really powerful truth. Sometimes seeing something is just way more helpful than only reading about it. For certain types of problems, especially the creative or physical ones, a picture really is worth 1,000 words, or in this case, 1,000 charts. So, I'll leave you with this. The next time you feel stuck, ask yourself this question. What problem could you solve by just seeing it differently? Maybe the answer isn't to just work harder using the same old tools. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to put down the book, step back, and find a new way to actually see the solution.